This meat event is going to be a technical display for the hardcores in this welterweight showdown when Neil Magny takes on Michael Chiesa. Both these dudes seem to be peaking at 170. It's perfect matchmaking in my opinion, and I love this fight so much because it features two guys who are used to, when in there, being the bigger and stronger guy. And we always see Neil Magny use his pressure, use his control, and just his overall size to overpower guys in the octagon. But the exact same thing can be said about Michael Chiesa. What makes the least sense is the fact that Rumble Johnson used to fight at 170, but a close second, in my opinion, is how the hell did Michael Chiesa ever make 155? Because this dude is huge. He is strong, and you love to see when guys come into their own in their proper weight class. And Chiesa is just another prime example of a guy who was cutting too much weight, and his performance has suffered as a result. Yet when he finds his true weight class of welterweight, he truly is peaking and coming into his own and discovering just what his ceiling could be. So I go back and forth with this one, to be honest with you, Meat. The odds makers have Magny as a slight minus 135 favorite. Chiesa is a plus 115 dog. Who are you going with in this meat event?
Yeah, this is such a tough one because like how you said, both these guys are peaking. I mean, they have turned into absolute monsters. I mean, it's light and day, total 180 flip, just straight killers lately. And man, I'm pretty torn, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Michael Chiesa. I think he's gonna get it done on the ground. I don't think Neil has gone versus someone with the grappling and strength of Michael Chiesa, to be honest. And I mean, Neil's a big dude, so he definitely could, be like an Israel Adesanya where he's really defending and he's just got those sniper long reach arms. I mean, 80-inch reach. It's going to be a tough one for Michael, but I'm going to root for Michael on this one. I think he gets it done. TKO on the ground.
Very fascinating. Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the ground game because when Neil Magny is on top of you, it's very tough to get him off. But throughout his career, he has been susceptible to guys with extremely competent BJJ. I mean, he was submitted by Damian Maia, of course. No, everyone gets submitted by Damian Maia. He got submitted by Rafael Dos Nachos, another BJJ black belt. So he's had his deficiencies in that regard, and the underrated jiu-jitsu game of Michael Chiesa could absolutely be a factor in this one if Chiesa is the one who is able to get that heavy top pressure that he often implements and dictates in all of his fights. So I'm very fascinated to see how this one starts on the feet. Who's going to have the advantage? I tend to think that Neil Magny will. I think that his pressure and his jab are going to be a little bit stronger on the feet, but it's all going to be about that ground game and what happens if Chiesa gets him down. Will he be able to keep him there and perhaps work some of that jiu-jitsu and maybe end up with a TKO finish like you have envisioned? But I got to tell you, I'm going with Neil Magny in this one. I just think Neil Magny's going to find a way to get it done. And I think it's because all fights start on the feet. Magny's going to find a way to win this one with the jab. That's just what I keep thinking about is Magny pumping that jab out, maintaining this fight on the feet, and simply outstriking him across at least 3 rounds. So how do you see Chiesa getting it done? You mentioned a TKO, but do you think it's going to be early and dominant? Are you expecting a back and forth affair, a bloodbath? How do you see him getting the finish if you really think he's getting one?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's either getting a finished submission or TKO ground and pound. It's gonna be one of those. I would say second round, but also it wouldn't surprise me if it goes a dominant decision by Michael Chiesa. But also, I mean, on the other flip turn, if Michael has trouble taking him down, this is going to be a long night because I mean Neil, I mean his boxing and his reach, it's just been looking so crisp, and I mean Michael's boxing and all that. I mean we haven't really seen too much, right? Like we haven't seen him standing up for 10, 15 minutes in showing his stand-up game, which he has pretty good stand-up, but his ground game has just really been relishing and showing how much of a level he's gained, and that's where I'm kind of banking on him getting it done. And I think I see it kind of like a Damian Maia and an RDA relapse for Magny.
Yeah, all of Chiesa's wins are by submission finish or by decision. He's never knocked anyone out and isn't known for being a guy who is too dangerous on the feet. He obviously has some skills and can hang with most guys on the feet, but his bread and butter is getting this thing to the mat. And I don't know. I just think it's going to be a little bit more challenging with a guy that is his size, a powerful big dude in Neil Magny. So it's a hell of a meat event. It's interesting that 55% of Tapology is going with Magny, a majority by decision, and 45% going with Chiesa, and just a decent bit of copper in there with Chiesa by submission. So very interesting to see how this one turns out. Nonetheless, he's going with Chiesa. I'm going with Magny. Smash that subscribe button. We appreciate you growing and chilling with the boys.